Save. And I want to go to the studio. There we go. Alright, we're up and running. Looks like we don't have anybody here, but that's okay. I'm sure that that there will be. Alright, I tested this out already. As you saw today, put 2 more coats of clear on this thing. And you're supposed to wait or whatever, but I never do. I came here and I sanded this out and got it flat. Make sure to get all the overspray off of it. So now I have to go through this whole process that I've already been through once again. But that's okay. We will have some shine now like you can't believe with 2 more coats of clear on it. Now, I broke my rule of going over the clear. But the reason for that was that it was nose heavy. So I can live with that. I had to bring the gross weight up so that I could get some tail weight on it. It's either that or have a wrap of solder on the tail wheel, and I'd much rather have the clear on it. So, let's see here. Get this camera here. I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. Should be able to see it from there. So, yes. Turn the auto director off. It's off. Okay. All right. I don't know if the auto director is going to go on and off or not. It has some quirks. If you look here, it looks kind of gravelly or stiffly. Well, the first thing we need to do is flatten that out. Don't sand with no 600 or nothing like that. We'll start off with 1500 because I don't want to spend all day doing this. This has to be done over the entire airplane. Wish I had one of them little rubber squeegees, but I don't have one. All this open bays need to be done too, but I'm not going to work on open bays until it hardens up. I can get away with doing this on solid surfaces, but I would not recommend sanding on open bays. You'll cut the paper. Especially with aggressive grit like this. This is 1000 grit. The shine comes from the sanding. At least I'm ready to go for Tuesday night. Hit the like button. Please support the channel by becoming a member. That's down next to the subscribe button. It's $4.95 a month. I put a lot of work into bringing you guys model airplane content. Okay, we got some of the grit out of it. I can still see some shiny spots. So we'll go back to the 1000. Use my little sponge. You guys have probably had enough of me today. Thank you for the like. Now, a lot of guys don't think the 1000 grit cuts, but you can sand all the way to the wood with this 1000 grit in a heartbeat. Once it starts cutting, that got most of it. This thing will be a jewel. It was going to look all right before. I mean, I could have made her look good, but my cub is ready to fly. I'm working on an altar stick. All right, if you notice how this looks now, it went flat. And that's what we want. So that was 1000 grit. Now we hit it with 2000 or 1500. And that was 1500. Where's the 2000? That's 1000. Here's 2000. Except this 2000 is shot. Here, this is 2000. Let's cut this up. Okay. Where's my scissors? There they be. I guess I'll just leave these big. I got 12 pieces. Let's see, 1, 2, no, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. 9 pieces. So this is 2000. And we'll sand it again. I think this airplane's going to come around for this year. It better. I got lots of work into it. This is by far the lightest finish I've ever done. And how weight was saved on this finish as opposed to the rest of them was starting to spray earlier instead of later, leaving 2 coats off. Of course, they ended up getting put back on in the clear, but that's okay. So even though I used more paint than I normally do, I can't really say I use more paint. I use more thinner. Because that last, the last coats of paint that are on this are 80% thinner. I didn't think I was going to get anything on it today as far as clear went because of humidity, and then come to find out the humidity dropped. We had plenty of retarder in it, but humidity went down to 40%. Okay, that's what I want to see right there. It's flat. I don't know if you can see that. We'll try to. If you look at that, it looks like plastic. Because it is, basically. So where did that go? Oh, up there. So looking at it in the camera, it looks like I need to sand right here. So we'll sand that and see what happens. This truly is the zen of color sanding. If you can find Wendy's video with the hills and valleys, he draws a picture in colored pencils or markers. He's exactly correct. Okay, that looks pretty good. We need to get up in here now, I see. So let's go back to 1500. Because I don't want to waste all my time sanding with 2000. If you ever heard the term, burn through the clear, this is how you do it. I try not to do it, but this is how you can do it, by sanding in a spot to get all the shinies out of it. I have so much room to play with here as far as finish goes. I could burn through and repair this and put another coat of clear on and still be in good shape. But we don't want to do that. We want to stay within our limit. Yeah, it looks all real good. Up there. You kind of got to look at the paint at an angle in order to get the shinies, to see where they are. I've already done the outboard wing. And I will tell you this, especially with urethane, the quicker you can get sanding on it, the easier it is to sand. You go through more paper when it's fresh, it's a lot easier to sand. Urethane, I start sanding it the minute I can touch it. If you wait a week, you might as well forget it. So we got that sanded pretty good. 5 watchers and 1 like. Hit the like button. That's the first thing I want you guys to do when you come on, is hit that like button. It helps the metrics immensely. The more people that like a video, the more it'll be suggested in somebody else's feed. And if we want to grow Control Line, we need to expose it to more people. Now this is a craft that's long gone, really. I need to cut up some of them 1500s too. So these are the 2000s. 2000. 1500. Cut up some of these. $2,000, $1,500. I use all the grits because it makes life a lot easier. Could you do this with only 2,000? Yep. Boy, it'd take you a while though. This is 3,000 and 5,000's on the bench. So that's 5,000. That's 3,000, 2,000, 1,500, and for real problem areas, I'll start out at 1,000. But I don't think I have any of those that will be showing yet. I haven't found any yet. That's for a spot you want to level off quick. Like right in here, looking at this, I see a lot of shiny spots. And I want to get those shiny spots out. And I don't want to work that hard, so that's why we're going with the 1500. We'll get them knocked down and then hit it with 2,000, then 3,000, then 5,000, then 7,000, and then 10,000. Conceivably, you could do this with a buffer and 10,000 grit. But there again, it would take a while. The biggest takeaway today, trimming wise, was opening up that handle. That really helped a bunch. I had it down to 4-inch spacing. It just wasn't performing, so I went up to the 5-inch spacing, and that picked up performance quite a bit. Hey, Greg. Yep, put 2 extra coats of clear on it today. It's up to a whopping 55 ounces. "55 ounces, boy, oh boy, it's a heavyweight." That looks pretty good. I got 90% of them out. Let's hit it with the 2,000 now. Then I'll hit it with 3,000, 5,000. Of course, I still gotta bend over and pick up the spray. I need to bring that card out. That's what I need. I gotta bring out my my little tool cart that I got. I'm well within trimming range. You know, if I go a little tail heavy, I can put the muffler back on it and be nose heavy again or whatever. I need to get this out though. How are we going to get this out of here? It's buried in there. I have to move this light. There we go. My beautician's tray. Okay. Let me show you what I got here. This is a beautician's tray, or a dentist lab tray. Because I'm in this little apartment, there's no place to set anything. We can set the that up there and the sandpaper and all that shit. Well, earlier flying wasn't that I need to practice, but I'm basically working on trimming it back out again, getting it flying like it did prior when it was orange. And it'll come around. I mean, it's got lots of potential. It's plenty snappy. There we go. Now I can work. Well, thank you, Bob. Just wait till I start polishing this thing. You'll see a difference like you can't believe. Okay, this was all sanded 1500. This is 2000 now. We don't need to make a big project out of it. We just need to knock the scratches down. Because I've already done the work of getting all the shinies off it with the 1500, so. The paper's not dragging anymore, so. Okay, that should do it for that. Wipe that, and it looks pretty flat. Next will be boned out. The only bad thing about doing it at this stage is that in a week or two I'll need to polish it again. But that's all right. Okay, that was 2000. This is 3000 now. Remember, this is only a 5-ounce finish, so any of the shine that I'm going to get is going to come from all this rubbing, all this sanding. And there's only one way to get it, and that's grease, elbow grease. Hey. Thanks, Charles. Working on getting it trimmed back out. I was doing some squares and some triangles today, and with the wider handle spacing, I still got the snap turn and the quick recovery, so I don't think I'm far off. That was with 1/2 ounce of tail weight on it, so now it balances in the same spot with no tail weight on it, with just clear on it. But it did pick up an ounce, or 9/10 of an ounce anyway, getting it to balance. But we're still 2 ounces lighter than when I started. Started at 57, now it's 55. So it's billy weight. Okay, that was 3,000, and it's starting to look pretty good. Starting to pick up a shine. No compound yet, just sandpaper. Yeah, this baby's really gonna shine. Okay, let's hit it with some 5,000 now. I'm gonna cut this in half though. Should start to shine right here with 5,000 without any compound. And of course we'll compound it here in a second to see what it looks like. But 8 watchers, 5 likes. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Please consider joining, becoming a member. That's right down next to the subscribe button. It costs you $4.95 a month. A lot of work goes into these videos. A lot of work goes into Charles's production. So help support Charles too. Okay, let's see what it looks like, and let's polish it up. See how we did. You can almost see your face in it without any polish on it. Looks like a dull piece of plastic. Let's bring this down so you can see. And it really won't start shining for another week. I mean, we'll get a shine out of it tonight, but it'll really pop on the second go around. Remember, I got to do that, all this to these open bays, but you don't want to do that while the paint is fresh, because you stand a chance of cutting the paper. Okay, let's hit it with the ultimate. See how that works. Oh yeah, that extra clear really helps. So I'll have a better finish, 2 ounces lighter. But I got lots more work in this finish. What this buffer does is it brings the heat up in the paint. It's warm. What that does is it melts the molecules together because dope is plastic. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Here's another thing to remember now. This was told to me by Ron O'Toole of Youth Air State. He, flew with Billy back in the 60s. He said, if you don't see any grain on your airplane, it's too heavy. You got too much paint on it. Some of them guys, they make it look like one sheet of glass, piece of, that's way too much paint. What do you think? That is the ticket. That really helped, all that extra clear. Might be worth another point. Maybe. Depends on how I get it polished. Maybe. They like them shinies. Okay, I gotta get up in here and put right around in here. You're not gonna get much better than that and have a light finish. It looks like plastic. What are you gonna do? Here's another trick that I didn't do on this one. You got these 3M buffing pads. This is kind of a hard edge. And take your scissors and cut that hard edge off. Because if you rub up against a fuselage, it'll cut right into it. So we're cutting it like that. I don't know why it's not already done from the factory this way. This is a hard edge here. So now at least when you bump against, go up against a fuselage, you're not running that hard edge into anything. Because trust me, you will do it. This is Meguiar's Ultimate Compound that I'm using here. I'm pretty 3M brand loyal, but I use Finesse It as the final polish. But this Meguiar's Ultimate Compound I found is probably the best rubbing compound. I got Turtle Wax rubbing compound, and I've tried everything. Kind of like the DC 540, When I found that, it was by a fluke. I happened to be in a Napa store and saw primer and read the label. It was lacquer primer. And we used that for a lot of years, but they screwed us. So, just like everything else, anything that's any good, the nut jobs want to take it away from you. Of course, that's for your own good. I think they need to worry about their own good. I'm real surprised you can still get MEK. I'm really surprised at that. There's two types. There's MIK and MEK. Well, MIK is methyl isopropyl ketone, and it's all right. It's not very hot. It's a little bit hotter than lacquer thinner. But MEK is methyl ethyl ketone, and that's some hot shit. That's some hot thinner. course, we used to have carbon tetrachloride as a cleaner too. I've washed my hands with carbon tet, and I've had my arm all the way up to my armpit in MEK. You know, it's gonna hurt you. Well, I suppose it would if you drank it. If you're that stupid, you know, you deserve it. We used to have some good, like I was telling you about that Rebel glue. That Rebel glue was great stuff. And then the idiots started stiffing it. You got to realize that those glue fumes are gluing your brain cells together. Probably a little bit like dope fumes, but look at me. I've been breathing dope for 50 years. I ain't dead yet. Well, it could cause cancer. Well, yeah, probably could. Whatever. Thing is, everybody got cancer in them. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I ought to do a torture test. I ought to keep live streaming the polishing of this and see how many of you guys can make it all the way through. 0. See, I'm about excited to go back out and fly it tomorrow. We got good weather. Okay, let's. We worked on this leading edge. I got the other leading edge to go. I'm not going to do the open bays tonight because I told you why. I won't do them for a week, the open bays. But I will do all the flaps and the nose and the fuselage, and I'll get it underway tonight. Let's move this over here. Let's go on auto director again. Okay, let's move this back. And I've sanded on this some, but it needs some more. But it needs some more. So let's sand open-handed on that so I can get the contours right. $1,500. I don't want to take all day doing this. I don't know, I think, I was talking to John, set it down outside today. I think it's kind of plain. I think it needs some pizzazz on it, but I don't know what to put on it. just not quite my style. John says, it's classic. Yeah, it's classic, all right. Won't be any trucker girls. I'm not going to do any tribal on it. No flames. I don't know what to do. To me, it needs a couple more colors in it. Okay, that's 1,500. Let's hit it with 2,000 now. 2,000. Here's a novel idea to you guys who want to build a light airplane. First thing, any of you guys who are building Pattern Masters, Stragas, all that big Jim Greenaway stuff, they're lumber wagons. They got way too much wood in them. They're just too damn big. Try to keep it around 60 inches. You don't need an airfoil 3 inches thick. Like, oh, what's that thing that Les McDonald flew? The Cardinal. It's all Pattern Master technology. So then you find yourself some light wood, and everything that's a 1/4 inch, you make a 3/16. It doesn't sound like much. You leave out as many parts as you can, and safely have it structured. You leave off as much paint as you can, more sanding. But if you keep building the same airplane and expect it to get it lighter, especially with today's wood, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think I got enough light wood to build one more of these in this weight range. Maybe lacking a few pieces. I try to, I'm guilty. I'm telling you one thing, but I went ahead and did it with my Thunderbolt. Figuring, yeah, I can beat the odds, and yeah, I can make mine 53 ounces like Billy did. No, wrong. That guy's a magician. He has super good wood, very meticulous. There again, you got to remember that airplane, 25 years old. So 25 years ago, we could get wood. I used to get calls from Shaper. Come on down, pick out the wood, and I'd go down there and get first pick on the wood, and man, the wood was great. You prefer to put a bigger engine on them. How much bigger than a 60? A good 40 would pull this airplane. No problem. Yeah, it's coming. I got 4 airplanes that are for 75, PA 75. I brought this up on the chat. Those big block motors, just too much weight. Big block airplane is carrying 22 ounces of fixed weight hardware. Motor tank, pipe, header, coupler, wheels. I added it up. I added it up. I know. 22 ounces. This is carrying like 16. And that doesn't include the 2 extra ounces of fuel you need to run that big motor. So it's 24 extra ounces, and 24 ounces, that is a lot of weight. I guess I haven't read the thread, the 0 ounce stunner. You know, what is too light for a stunt plane? I don't know. I ain't never seen one. Hunt says it. Could you build a airplane too light? Yeah, but nobody has yet. It's just impossible. It's too much fixed weight. And I've told you over and over again, I know for a billion times, the heaviest single thing on your airplane is something you wouldn't even think about, and that's the paint. And so many guys tip the can. And I'm guilty on this airplane. It's got an extra pint of paint on it. But it needed it as opposed to a big sinker on it. I'd have never put more paint on it if it would have been balanced right. One guy, Bob Pardue, says, move the motor back. There is no way. It's already got a 3/4 inch extension on it, so the motor's pushed back 3/4 of an inch. There's the motor. There's the tank. How far can you go? I can't put the tank in the wing. You know, that's not a non-starter. It's got to be, you know, there's some fixed numbers that are just there and you can't get out of them. Okay. All right, we got this pretty much flattened out. We'll see if it comes up. I'm sure it will. I'm 100% sure it will. This almost has a shine on it like I used to do in the 90s. Almost. Got another quart of paint and it would. That's one maneuver that happens that I don't like. I need to figure out a different applicator for this stuff. You shake that and hit the fuselage, you put a dent in it. Then you're crying. I got them sanded out. Boy, that turned out nice. That turned out good. How much paint is on it now? 1.5 quarts. 1 quart and a pint. So I guess, yeah, 1.5 quarts. Most of it on the top. Of course, I don't know, I got paint left over in that jar, so. But here again, that's not an exact science either. I got to be real careful telling you that because I'm spraying 80% thinner. Well, that come right up. That came right up. Yeah, 80% thinner is what I use. Today was lots of retarder too. I can hardly wait to see what John does with his rub out. Because it takes more time to rub it out than it does to paint it. You see, the spraying of the paint is not the paint job. This is the paint job. The preparation, the after finish, the sanding. That's why I say, and I'm going to prove it to you, that I can paint an airplane with a bug sprayer. Because the application doesn't mean shit. It's just how much work are you willing to do on the end? You know, how much sanding you're willing to put in. Because you can take, let's say I started out with big deep pits and rocks and stuff in it. I could take 600, flatten it out, drop to 1,000, then to 1,500. Of course, you're going to have to add more paint, but you're going to have, you know, you just level it out. I hope that makes sense, because some people it doesn't. Back in the day, they used to paint these with a brush. And the guys would sit down and do exactly what I'm doing here, and sand and buff and sand and buff until it looked like it was a sprayed on paint job. Just that the spray application just made it faster and easier. Boy, that turned out real nice. There's lots of clear on that. It's going to be a nice airplane. Okay, let's see what this side looks like. I spent more time off camera sanding this. This was super flat on this side. That side. It doesn't matter. Now we got 6 watchers. Six people that are willing to be punished. About as boring as you can get. By the way, Timothy, it's still a 5.5 ounce finish. It's not even a 6 ounce finish with all the paint on it. Actually, just 5 ounces. Started at 50. Let's see. I started before paint 50.25 ounces before covering. So everything, covering, paint, everything, 5 ounces. Anybody tells you it can't be done, they don't know what they're talking about. Be done, but it's a lot of work. Okay, here I have an issue. This square turned out good. This one here is kind of flat. Needs to be resanded. So, we'll break out the sandpaper and start sanding. I need a drink of my soda. Well, that auto director is really clipping along there pretty quick. Let's see here. Auto director. Okay, we'll go with that. About once a minute now it'll flip. Okay. 15. This needs to be knocked down. It's just not there yet. What happened to my sponge? There it is. There it is. Yeah. Oh. So I have to go through the whole deal. 15, 2, 3, 5. If you were here, you could hear the sanding tone change. Let's do all of them. I'll do them all again. I'm really glad that I chose red instead of black for checkerboard. It's first off, it's different. Second off, looking at them, they really look nice. Okay, let's see what that did. See if we got it flat now. Yeah, much better. Much better. This is the airplane 5 years ago. My buddy poked his thumb right through the leading edge. And I let Charles fly, and I dropped a rock right through the wing. The lamp fell over and knocked the wingtip off. Shit, I can't win with this thing. I hit the ground with it the other day. This airplane's been through a lot. An old warhorse with a new dress. It just so flies so damn good I can't get rid of it. It's like putting an old pair of shoes on. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Had 2 motor upgrades. Of course, just when I was in the service, working on F-14s, you know, they were continually being repaired and upgraded, and they always looked brand new. Of course, the paint jobs weren't scrutinized quite as much as a stunt plane's paint job. Why is this thing flipping so fast again? I don't know, the auto director's going crazy on me again. Let's do this. Let's see here. Let's go with that one. See if that helps. That may help. I don't know what I'm doing with that thing. Let's see if nope. I don't know. Guess I'm gonna have to kill the program to get it to stop flipping so damn fast. Okay, what in the heck is going on here? Auto director, let's turn the damn thing off. We'll get out of this. Turn the auto director back on. Let's see what happens here. Auto director, time. don't know, that may do it. I have no idea. Stupid thing is flipping. Okay. So after doing this once and figuring out that I didn't have it sanded quite enough, I re-sanded it flat again. Now it's time to try the polish on it to see if it's going to come in. You don't need much polish, that's for sure. You flip it all over it, sling it from side to side. Spread it out. Yeah, I think I fixed the auto director. There we go. Now it come up. Oh, man. Damn. That came right up. That's nice. And I'm glad I put more clear on it, because it would not have come up that nice before. I mean, it would have been shiny, but it wouldn't have had the depth that this thing's got now. Needs it right here. Yeah, the video. This tank is cut back into the wing 2 inches already. Almost touching the bell crank. Been moving my engines back for years. Motor sits back here, tank is here, and there's a 2-inch notch in the wing, and there ain't no moving it back anymore, and there is no way I would move it back. Could it be moved back? Well, maybe if I want to move the bell crank back, and it'd be a big project. So that's out of the question. Okay, that I got that spot real good. So now it's just a matter of, I got the 3 big spots that you can see real quick. It'll take me a few days to get it all sanded out, polished. But it will be a beauty. I think I need to work on that rudder tomorrow, get that finished painted, get the XL back on it, get some clear on it. Dope is the most forgiving paint you can work with. You can make a repair, blend it right in, nobody will ever see it. Dope is really forgiving. I guess I could try some finesse here to see what it looks like. This finesse is 10,000 grit. The compound is 7,000. Finesse it's 10,000. Plus it has petroleum in it. Let's see what it does. This is a polishing compound. Arms getting tired. I ain't as young as I used to be. I used to be able to do this for hours. Now about an hour is all I can handle. That came up. This came up. That's good. Perfect. That's what I want. Right there. Yep, the polish really helped. It'll look as good as it can. That's about all I can do with it. Looks better than it did. Lighter than it was. Well, what do you think? Is it going to be all right? It's going to take a lot of work, but I think it's going to come around and be really nice. That extra paint really helped. Oh, don't poke a hole in it. I can't afford to keep working on it. Yep, gotta go over the whole thing with finesse it now. Hey, Jim. The engine on John's airplane is a PA-75. It needs more propeller, so he's going to put a under camber Bob McDonald APC clone 3-blade on it. It has a Bob McDonald flatback on it now, but it needs more prop. I was trying to get him to put on my 15-452 blade like I used to run on my Thunderbolt. That baby will pull. If you remember, my Thunderbolt, you could point up in the air and it'd go straight up with no problem. Well, Jim, I broke the rule today. I put extra 2 coats on it. It's 54 ounces now. Move the CG back. I just had to do it. I had to do it. See that or have solder wrapped around the tail wheel. Couldn't have that. Couldn't have that. Amateur night. Okay, let's see if this comes up a little better with finesse it. I think it will. When I bought this finesse it was $28 a pint. I don't know what it is now, but boy, it's worth it. I'm gonna shine my glass here in a minute. Here again, I'm showing you something that I'm doing and I get away with, and I do it all the time. People say, you can't polish paint for a month. This paint isn't even a day old. It's not even 10 hours old. The difference is that it will dull out. I'll have to go back over it again. But it's a whole lot easier to sand when it's soft than when it's hard. So in a week I'll hit it again with the finesse it, and it'll come back. And then in another week I'll hit it again. You know, it doesn't take much once you get it flat. Oh, I know it'll be okay. Trust me, I know it'll be okay. End of the day today, I mean, I got what I wanted out of today. Flying session. I knew that, you know, it didn't take long to know that I needed handle spacing. The first day when I hit the ground, I knew I needed tail weight. I should have known that I made the airplane 2 ounces lighter, that's 2 ounces away from the tail. I should have rebalanced the airplane. I didn't. My mistake. Very sluggish on the controls. So took the muffler off it, put a tongue muffler on it, so that's taking 1 ounce off the nose. And I added a 1/2 ounce to the tail, so that's moving the weight around, moving the weight back. And after today opening the handle up, knowing that I can get all that performance back again, I knew what I needed to do. I needed to add some more paint to it to move the CG back. And this thing will be, after it's all sanded, polished, buffed, rubbed, and dries for a day, it'll be 54.7 or 8, somewhere in there. It will come into the 54 ounce range. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. The CG stays the same, we'll be fine. If it doesn't, I'll have to think of something else. It's got a carbon fiber tank in it. The prop is it's the lightest stuff that you can find. The Medusa spinner weighs 7 grams. The tongue muffler weighs 2 grams, so there's 9. The prop is 3/4 of an ounce, that's 9. Let's see, 15, 24. We'll just say 1 ounce in those 3 parts. 7, 9, plus I got 2 ounces, 1.5 ounces of miscellaneous hardware in the nose, screws, that stuff. The tank is 1.25 ounces. So, is it? No, it's 1 ounce. It's a carbon fiber, $100 carbon fiber CAS tank. Lightest thing you can get it in there. Everything on this airplane is light, the lightest part you can get. So it's not like I have a whole lot of choice. I have to add, I can't take away because there's nothing to take away. Kind of a bummer, but the way it is. It is what it is. It'll be fine. Trust me. It'll be fine. We'll get it figured out. It kills me. Wonder what that canopy's gonna look like polished up. Gonna be green, green. It's like Christmas. Green-amundo. Now honestly, how many of you guys thought I was crazy when I painted the canopy green first? That was the first thing painted on, was the canopy. Green. Ooh, green. I knew it'd be all right. Well, so far, there's a lot of work left to do. A lot. Been on almost 2 hours. I think I'll run it to 2 hours and kill it, because I know you guys don't want to watch me do this for another 8-10 hours. Because that's what it'll be. I'll probably do this all the way up to midnight. And then tomorrow I'll be back on and I'll be doing the same thing. And we might work on that rudder some. I need to smooth in a little of that green putty, sand it. There's a couple of spots on it. Probably sand that XL off the back. Dust on some more white, some more clear. When I'm done, you won't be able to tell that I skinned that rudder at all. Remember, this is the airplane that had a gaping hole right there. I mean, a big hole, like that big around, right in the leading edge. You can't see it now. Couldn't see it when it was orange either. Little faint spot. I couldn't believe Jerry did that. Put his thumb right through it. I won't say who, but somebody, well, you put a patch on it. No, I don't think so. I'll take it home. I'll fix it right at home. Kind of like when my stab broke on my Thunderbolt at the Nats. It cracked from harmonic vibration or something. I don't know what broke it. They wanted me to scab on some type of Band-Aid. Nah, I'll take it home. You let me fly the other one or I won't fly. And I cut it open on the bottom and then put a belt inside. Fixed it. You couldn't tell. When I got it done, you couldn't tell that it was broken. But I'm not the kind of guy that'll put on a piece of tape or whatever just so I can fly. Well, you know, it's just not worth it. So much work goes into these airplanes. Anybody that's built airplanes like this, Jim knows, and I don't know how many of you guys are doing this type work, but stunt ships, but Jim knows, I know for sure. There's so much work that goes into these airplanes. I'm not going to chance, you know, doing something like a scabbing on whatever, a patch or a bogus turd or whatever. It just ain't worth it. So all right, guys, I think I'm going to end this for tonight. I've done, I don't know, another 8 hours of video on Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow to sand and polish some more. So if you want to see me sand and polish, I'll be here tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. Let's go, Brandon. See ya.